Whenever I say ma PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
Yes. Absolutely reckless and pedestrian for any serious analyst to reduce the upcoming elections to a contest of ethnicity, regions, religion, and so on. It's backward, it's illiterate, it's uninformed, and so on. What are the problems confronting us? We have a debt overhang. Who can say that if you elect somebody from the central region, the debt overhang will vanish? Unless you're extremely stupid. And if you're extremely stupid, you can make that argument. If you elect somebody from the north, how does that improve access to social services simply because of reduced inflation and so on? I mean, the level of stupidity is amazing. And it is even more shocking that these kinds of analysis are coming from academia, from, you know, amazing stupidity. You elect somebody who speaks in tongues. How does that reduce inflation? Or you elect somebody who uses the tasbih. Huh? How does that solve the problems, you know, coming out of the spillage of the Akosombo, the water in the Akosombo Dam, and so on? So these are so pedestrian, and these kinds of analysis are offered by people who have no solution whatsoever to the problems which confront this country. So anytime somebody comes to you and say, vote for me because I'm a Northerner, know that that person is useless, will not work on the problems facing the country, has no capacity to resolve any problem. Please vote that person out. You understand? Now we are told that this is going to be a battle of the North or something to that effect. How? How? Because Bawumia has joined the race. Even within his own party, New Patriotic Party, look at the constituencies he lost to Kennedy Japan. Even the NPP refuses to buy that stupidity. Garu, go and check the figures from Garu. He was beaten flat by Kennedy Japan. Is Garu in the Western region? What kind of analysis is this? Look, this election is coming at a time when there's no doubt at all that the future is very bleak for the people of Ghana. This election is coming at a time when there's a debt overhang. This election is coming at a time when within a period of 3 years, the price of kinky has risen from 50 pesos to 5 cedis above.
With a reduced size.
Thank you, sir. This election is coming at a time when the government statistician, not me, not NPP, says that food inflation is hovering around 54%. And it's about whether you are choosing somebody from Ashanti region or you are choosing somebody from Gomwa Abra. Jesus Christ of Nazareth, the Ghanaian elite is so useless. The Ghanaian elite is unbelievably useless. So if you go and choose somebody from Bumpurugu, how does that affect the state of the country? Please, I think we should be serious and we should begin to look at workable, realistic solutions to the problems that confront us. Otherwise, these politicians will always take us for a ride. You know, we should be asking major questions about those who are offering themselves for leadership of this country. Massa, over the last couple of weeks, 19 people have died. 19. Because the renal department at Kolebu was closed. 19 people died. Now, what is the problem? The problem is that they need 4 million cedis Master, not dollars, not euros, not pounds. They need, the renal unit at Kolebu needs 4 million cedis only. Now, you know how ridiculous this situation is. On November 4, the day when the NDC went to choose its flag bearer, one candidate, one, not all the 4 candidates, one candidate spent more than 120 million on that day alone. And the renal unit at Kolebu has to be closed because Ghana cannot raise 4 million cedis. That's how bad the situation is. You understand? And we are talking about, oh, who comes from Wali Wali? Who comes from Gomwa Dintra? And so on. That's what we are talking about. Our intellectual community is a joke. Our intellectual community is an embarrassment to this country. Let's talk about the concrete things. Do you know what is going to happen in the next couple of months? As a result of the spillage of water from the Akosombo Dam, you know what is going to happen? The rice farms which have been inundated with water, the fish ponds which have been destroyed and so on. We are heading to a major food crisis. And you're talking about somebody coming from Wali Wali, so what? Or Gumwa de Rampo, so what? So what? Let's be serious. And I agree with my brother here that to see this on the front page of the Daily Graphic is even makes me sadder. Daily Graphic, the standard bearer of journalism in Ghana. Look.
They made it front page.
So what would some other newspaper that I don't want to mention, what did it put on it as its banner headline? There's another paper I don't want to mention that everybody knows. If this is Daily Graphic, what would they do? Battle of the North. What North? Abba. Let's get serious. Let's get serious. You know. And people have started making promises. We should be interrogating those promises.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you know, Bawumia has, he moves from one thing to the other and so on. Now finally from digitization, he has entered the realm of the blue economy. We should be asking, what is that blue economy? What are the details? Blue economy and so on. I was trying to figure out what this blue economy is. And I found out that it has different definitions depending on where you go for your definition. If you go to the UN, the emphasis is on climate change and so on. If you go to the EU, the emphasis is on the utilization of the resources of the sea to promote national development. If you go to the Commonwealth, there's another definition and so on. Whatever the definition is. Bawumia should come and tell us this blue economy, what it is, and how this so-called blue economy can lead to the resolution of the concrete problems that face the people of Ghana. Do you understand? Then you have His Excellency John Dramani Mahama telling us about 24-hour economy. What does that mean? I don't understand. Somebody must be explaining it to us. If you say 24-hour economy, what does it mean? This economy, or all economies, run on a 24-hour basis. Is there an economy which runs on a 3-hour basis?
I think they've tried to explain it a bit in terms of the workforce, that they will find a way of, so when people go to work from, let's say, 6 a.m. 9 to 5, then they would have other people continue from. No, they've tried to explain it. I understand that 24-hour economy, but please proceed.
Oh, you understand?
Yeah, I do.
Right now, as we sit in the studio, workers of the electricity company of Ghana work on a 24-hour basis.
Yes, they do.
So this 24-hour economy, what is it going to do to workers?
Usually you have people who are on, how do they call them? Those who receive the calls and things like, you don't have active workers. Yes.
Who said?
How is it going to transform our economy?
Who said?
So
you know, the workplaces which are not working on 24-hour basis cannot work on 24-hour basis.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
The shoemaker cannot work for 24 hours because he needs some time to go and sleep and so on. So these things I'm saying need to be explained, and we need to be convinced about their viability. We should go beyond sloganeering and begin to tackle concrete problems realistically and so on. You understand? That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
There may be concepts which can be explained. So far, I don't understand what the politicians are talking about. You understand? I don't understand. And if I don't understand, please imagine the numbers of people who are like me. Imagine the numbers of people who are like me. So they should stop throwing slogans at us. You know, and sometimes the politicians, I think they need to be a little careful. This blue economy, you know, the whole thing is based on the color of the sea. The blue comes from the color of the sea. Do you know that the color of the sea is an illusion? The color of the sea is an illusion. The sea is not blue. It is reflection which makes the sea look blue. So if there's a politician who all of a sudden is offering us an economic paradigm based on an illusion, I wonder. You know, I simply just wonder. So let these politicians get serious. I haven't said that.
I checked that immediately.
The politicians should take us serious and come to us with things that are realistic. We should realize that, look, we went through the era of 1D, 1F. One village, one dam. One constituency, 1 million. And so we should be moving to a higher level now. I'm finished.
Yes,
1 million.
You see, I was going to raise concern.
Maybe other to explain the
24-hour, then I come with the blue.
Exactly. The 24-hour economy is targeting employment creation and productivity. Now you see, all of us. You gave the example of the shoemaker. Because you have restricted the shoemaker's ability to contribute to productivity, including shoemaking. 24-hour economy must make it possible for a shoemaker who, after finishing his shoemaking job, can take another employment elsewhere.
So he will not sleep.
No, don't worry. No. He will sleep. He will sleep. Just like in other jurisdictions. He will sleep. It is for him to order. You make the opportunities available. I mean, there could be somebody who decides that I'm going to work only once.
How do you then put that within the context of 24 hours? Because 24 hours suggests continuous work over the 24-hour a day period.
24 hours is not targeting the individual. 24-hour economy, it's targeting the economy. The economy must not rest. It must be on a productive drive for 24 hours.
By people.
But not the same person, but by people.
Okay. So let's use the example of the cobbler that you use.
So the example of the cobbler. Yeah. So you are a cobbler.
Yes.
So you decide that
6 hours
your final time, when you are not working in industry or you are not working in any factory, you will do that job. So you go and do that job. When you close, you then have opportunity to do 5 hours elsewhere.
So it means you are not sleeping.
No, you sleep. People work it. I mean, you
are only 24 hours in
the UK system.
Like the UK system.
But are you going to be paid hourly or because
whatever the payment
into this corner? What is the UK system you are talking about? In those places, the factories work on a 24-hour basis.
That's exactly.
Hold on. So Kwamina comes to work in the factory. He closes at 12. Kwesi comes to work at 12. Closes at so and so and so. You understand what I'm saying? It is not about one person doing cobbling and leaving cobbling and doing another thing.
Exactly.
It's the factories which work on a 24-hour basis.
Yes.
You understand? It is the institutions and so on which work on a 24-hour basis. So they sleep. The workers sleep.
Yes.
The workers only work for 8 hours a day.
Yes.
In fact, in those economies, it is illegal to work for more than 8 hours a day.
Exactly.
And so on. So, if you talk about the 24-hour economy for Ghana, what are the industries which are going to work non-stop?
Exactly. So,
what are the industries which are going to work non-stop? What is the mechanism you are going to use to ensure that there is work throughout the time and so on? These are fundamental questions we have to ask. Those are the questions I'm posing.
So that's exactly what we are answering. That's just like
where are even the factories?
So just like in the UK,
what is the resource, for creating those machines and so on? And by machines, I don't mean factories and so on. The infrastructure which will make that possible. Don't forget that today, as we sit here, we are bankrupt.
Yes, we are.
We are bankrupt. That's a bankrupt nation. So any politician making promises would have to show us how they are going to fund the resources to fund the projects that they are throwing at us and so on. It's a complicated matter.
It's a complicated matter, but it's a doable matter. It's a doable matter because you need to understand that there are platforms that you need to ride on to be able to create that. And the platforms have been identified and the potential appreciated. And there are many such platforms. Now, I thought you were going to talk about a market. So if we produce, what are you going to do with the products? But that's why I talk about platforms. Or what platforms are you going to ride to create a 24 economy? The solution is in the manifesto of the NDC. It will come us shortly.
Okay.
PENDREAM TV now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.
My never say PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, o see them yopo.